Hello and thanks for stopping by. This is Pac-Man for the NES, released by Tengen in 1987. I have the licensed gray cartridge from Tengen, and I'm playing this game on a retro USB AVS. Tengen had some decent releases for the Nintendo system, and I'm a particular fan of their Gauntlet port to the system. When I found a copy of Pac-Man at my local shop, I decided to pick it up for my collection. I'm reasonably picky with my NES collection, because there are plenty of terrible games out there, but when I saw a clean copy of Pac-Man, well, when you see Pac-Man, I think you pretty much know what you're going to be getting. I've been playing the Atari 2600 version of this game, and, well, I knew this had to be better. How could it not be? Anyway, I've been playing this one a little, and I have a pretty simple relationship with Pac-Man overall. If it's on, and it's in front of me, I'm going to play a few games. I don't go out of my way to seek the game out, mind you, but when it's there, I'm definitely good for a few games. Keep in mind that I've never bothered to work on pack theory, nor have I gone about memorizing any patterns in the game. Now, I know there are certain patterns that will get you through levels better than others, and it seems to me that if you really want to progress past the first 4 or 5 levels, you probably need to dedicate time to memorizing these patterns. I just don't think I have that level of dedication for this particular game. Overall, I think this is a pretty good port of Pac-Man. Like most versions of this game, the first few levels are reasonable enough to navigate through, and as you start to clear maps, you can feel the game speed up just a little. It's also nice to have the colors of the game actually look correct. They didn't go off and experiment with some sort of a different color scheme. Thank you. This is a huge leap from the Atari 2600 version. Oddly, I think that Pac-Man is actually a little too large on screen here, and I think both him and the ghosts should be just a tiny bit smaller. I don't know, he just feels a little swollen in the maze as you're racing around. I do think it's minor, but it was in my brain enough that I thought it was important to mention. The handling of the game, I found myself struggling just a little bit with getting around. The gamepad doesn't feel very accurate with the Nintendo when I play this game. I find myself missing a turn, and then I have to turn back around. I had to do that more than I would expect. Eventually, I just switched to the NES Advantage controller, which is basically the arcade stick for the Nintendo. I do think that helped a little bit, but the handling is still something I'm trying to get used to with this game. It's also nice to get story animations every few levels. This was something that they did in the arcade version as well. I know it's nothing major, but it's still nice to get little breaks like this every now and then. Basically, you're going to beat 2 or 3 mazes, and then suddenly you're going to get a little music, and, I don't know, maybe Pac-Man's going to come running across the screen being chased by a ghost. It's not really a story, but it's this clever little vignette that you get every now and again to help break up the monotony. It's pretty nice. Overall, this is a pretty decent game, and I'm glad to have this one in the collection. It's Pac-Man, so you should know what you're getting when you pick it up anyway, but it plays like you'd expect a Pac-Man game to play, and it looks pretty good overall. I feel this was a pretty good buy. Well, that's all I have today for Pac-Man for the NES. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you next time.